So another verse about the tragic death of the sons of Aaron, Nadav and Avihu. You might have had this verse before. If we did, stop me. No, don't stop me. It will be chazara. It will be review. This is one of my classics I always say over. Could be we said this much. So, Torah starts off this week's Parsha discussing the death of Nadav and Avihu. Now, what did they do wrong? The Gemara has a whole list of things that they did wrong. They drank wine when they did the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. They paskin halachos in front of Moshe Rabbeinu. So many different things. A whole list of things that they did. The pasuk, not the Talmud, the Torah itself, in Parshas Bamidbar of all places, says, "Ubanim lahayu lahem." When it discusses the genealogy of Moshe and Aaron, when it comes to Nadav and Avihu, it says, and Aaron had 4 sons. Nadav and Avihu, help me out here. Who are the other 2 that were left? Elazar v'Itamar. But when it comes to Nadav and Avihu, it says, and they didn't have any children. Uvanim lahayu lahem. Says the Gemara, the Medrash. And they didn't have any children, and they died. If they had children, then they would have died. Then they would not have died. But speaking of South Africa, I don't know his name. Ask him his name. Do me a favor. Okay. This is Shmuel.
What's your name? Daniel.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, Daniel. Yes, Shmuel Zaydel. You missed your Friday night. I would have stayed, by the way, if he was there, but okay.
Yeah, you would have had a...
What if it's mine? Single, same. Okay. You had your cover there, a clucky boy. By the way, the match, you came over to say hello to me. Very nice. Nothing. Let's get back to this. I just said a quick thing. The boy was a match. Huh? So the question is, what did Aaron's sons do wrong that they died? Nadav and Avihu. The sons of Aaron, they perished. So there's a whole list in the Talmud of things that they did wrong. But there's a verse in Bamidbar that says that they died for the sin of not having children. Avanim lahayu lahem. So we discussed that in another shir, what that means, that why it's such a tragic death for not having children. Right? Yeah. But the question that we're going to address now is that there's a contradiction. Okay? On the one hand, Max, it says that the sons of our Nadav and Avihu died because of a whole list of things that they did wrong. They did the avodah, the service in the temple when they were intoxicated. They paskin, they ruled in front of Moshe Rabbeinu. How does that fit in with not having any children? It's like on the SATs. You have apple, pear, orange, and Max. Which one doesn't belong? The apple, right?
Where do I belong? Max is a fruit.
So you like that one, right? It's always right. Max, Shmuel, Shlomo, and Johnny. Which one doesn't belong? Don't say Max, right? That would be Johnny, right? There's always one doesn't belong. So there's a whole list of things, right? What is the Torah out of left field, and they didn't have any children? How does that fit into all the other things that they listed? So the Chassam Sofer says a beautiful insight. That's what the Chassam Sofer says. When a person has children, and by the way, it doesn't only mean children. Okay? Well, I don't have any children here. Mr. Hashem, one will soon, but 4 of us, for other reasons, don't have children. So, what happens when you have children? You're constantly educating them. Chaim, you don't talk like that. Sarah, you don't act like that. You say please, you say thank you. You don't use your shirt as a napkin. We can go through the whole list, right? So all these things, you're constantly giving mussar, you're constantly giving chinuch to your children. Besides the children, who else is influenced? When a person is always giving mussar to his children or his students, who else gets influenced? The person themselves gets influenced. You hear the word?
Because now he has to do it.
Not right, very good. Max is saying good svara. I wasn't even going to say that svara, but that's very good. The first svara is because you have to do it because otherwise you're going to be a, what's it called, a two-timer. Practice what you preach, Dad, right? That's a good point.
Big.
Right. So you have to do it because otherwise your Muslim won't do anything, right? Tell him I'm at home. And then you want to know why the kid lies. Because the kid sees what the father does, right? So Max is saying good Svara. But we're going to say a little bit different also. Not to argue, but to say a little different. The reason why you influence is because, why you improve is because when a person hears Muslim all day, something's going to go in. Right? Like,
the opposite happens. They get so tired of it, they just walk away from it.
Okay.
I won't look at anybody.
So, Danny, you hear what I'm saying?
There's no mirror here, so.
Such a beautiful insight. Sounds like Sam Sarfer. So, but not having any children, they were lacking in that extra impetus of Musar. It's a chiddush, it's a wild insight, but nothing has stopped us before in this year. We say wild stuff sometimes. You might enjoy last week. What?
I read a story not too long ago about a tzaddik who decided to become celibate. He lived in the shul, he ate, he prayed, everything.
There's a guy here. Okay, yeah, nothing. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And so, when he died, there was a huge procession. The village came out to bury him. A huge, enormous party and a lot of great. But when he got to heaven, he didn't make it that far up.
Right.
He said, "What's going on? I devoted myself to Torah studying so much." And they said to him, "Well, you didn't get married, you didn't have children, so you weren't able to develop that that next level in study and growth."
Very interesting. So that's the idea. So, of course, it's the mitzvah to have children, but that's not what we're saying. It's not that not having children per se. It's an interesting idea for some sort of puts everything together. By not having children, he was lacking. They were lacking in that extra impetus and that extra growth opportunity. You don't have that growth opportunity. That's how you can come to sins. So that was the answer. Of course, it's the sins. We're saying a chiddush now. It's not the not having children. Not having children, not like your story, would not be enough of a reason to get punished. What the Gemara was saying is, how could Nadav and Avihu'S, such great people, how could they do any of the sins listed in the Talmud? The answer to that is because they were missing on that extra growth and that extra lack.
Because they don't have children.
Yeah. Just when right. Well, you don't have children. That's the idea. You don't, and then you don't constantly feel the need to grow. You could say like Max said also, because you don't have that extra push to grow because I have to be an example to my students, to my kids.
You have to be selfless when you have children. That's the.
Or because of, like we say now, because you yourself get influenced by the constant muster that's always being portrayed. We're going to say one more thing and then we'll take questions. And it could be also over here. It says in the pasuk that they died because Vasam Lifnei Hashem. How much time you got for this piece? Okay, 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. So it says in the Torah that they died by coming close to Hashem. Okay. So maybe you could say as follows: that a person, you might think that the reason why they died is because it was supposed to be a kitrug, an example. Hashem took. Sometimes He takes away tzaddikim for a lesson, that we should learn a lesson to improve ourselves. But no, that would only be a reason to take away one of them. The reason why it's in plural is the reason why two of them died. It wouldn't be enough just to say that it was because of a lesson. For that, one of them would be enough. The reason why it's in plural, Shnei b'nei Aaron, the reason why it's both is to show that it wasn't just to teach us a lesson, but it was because Taka there was a sin. Now, but what did they do wrong? Why is it so bad? Even if you say they didn't have children and they didn't have the extra growth and they, they didn't have, so they were able to do all these things. But any of the things that we listed are not death punishment. Not doing that. Well, now it is. The Torah says later on that it is. But at that point, it wasn't a death punishment for doing that avodah when you're intoxicated, or for passing in front of Moshe. That's chutzpah, but it's not death.
Classic answer. Well, on their level,
Oh, very good, Max. It is. But I'm going to show it in the pasuk. You got to be kidding me. Or seriously? That's what they say nowadays. Seriously? Yeah, seriously. And that's what the Torah says, Max. The Torah is addressing Max's question. Seriously? And that's the answer is yes, seriously. Because also Hashem by your musu. Listen to this, it's beautiful. Max is seriously, it's in the Torah. Because they were kavos of Hashem. Because they were close to Hashem. Vayamusu. That's why they died. The Torah is answering this question. Max's question. The reason why they did all these things wrong, and on their level, it was considered a greater sin than for us. For us, I don't want to speak for anybody here.
God gave a bump on us.
So I'm just showing. I personally like these debate Torah. I assume the Elamir does because they come back every week. It can't be for the food because I don't serve anything. So either it's for my good looks or it's for the Torah. So I don't know which one. I assuming it's for the Torah. So that it's a beautiful idea because of Hashem Ayamusu. The Torah is not telling us a historical fact. It's telling us as Max seriously. The reason why they died is because they were close to Hashem. Hashem treats tzaddikim on a higher level than he treats other people.